Hello, I'm Jane Marriott, Director of Harewood House Trust, and we're several weeks into lockdown now, and it's almost hard to imagine what life was like before we all had to stay safe and stay at home. And for us, it's been a period where we've really had to think about how we can continue to be helpful and to make sure we fulfil our role as a charity looking after Harewood House, its collections, its gardens and its grounds. And we have a much reduced staff, as many organisations have had to do. We've had to furlough quite a number of our team, which means we've got a small core team left who are looking after all the birds, the penguins, the alpacas, all of the animals on site, which has been particularly important, of course, at this time because we have our breeding programme started. And so there are a lot of young chicks on site that I really hope you get the chance to come back and see soon. We've also been thinking about our gardens, and of course we haven't got the full team of gardeners to be able to plant across the entire site ready for summer and for reopening. So what we've done is concentrated on the walled garden, and I think that's a mixture of both thinking about produce we can create and then use, so that time is very well spent, but also hopefully you're back in the autumn seeing this incredible harvest of fruit and vegetables that have been grown in the walled garden. We've also, of course, been creating online content, Harewood at Home, and I hope you've really enjoyed the stories we've started to tell around the collections, around all of the history of the house, and of course the Earl and Countess of Harewood, the Lassells family. And we've had a mixture of both storytelling and activities. So whether you've been able to create Lego as part of the Lego competitions, or you've taken part in gardeners' question and answer sessions, they've been really important to us as well. But we've also had to think about our community in every sense of the word. And as well as keeping in touch with our staff, we have over 260 volunteers who have been absolutely phenomenal over the years, helping Harewood as a charity as it's been open to the public. And of course, a lot of them fall into the vulnerable category because of their age or because of health issues, which has meant they've had to self-isolate. So as a team, we've been reaching out and calling people, virtual coffee mornings have been set up, and just making sure that we do keep in touch and let each other know what's happening during that time. I also wanted to say thank you. Thank you for those that have supported, first of all, the bird appeal. So you may have seen we've launched our first ever bird appeal to raise money, £35,000, which is the cost to keep the care and the feeding and the conservation of our great bird collection. That cost is just over a 12-week period, and of course, because all of our income has gone from our day visitors and from our cafes, we really do need to try and find some way of raising that funds. And many of you have given, £10 to feed a penguin for a day. And I want to thank you very much for that, because every penny counts at the moment. I also wanted to thank the members. We started to really develop our membership programme about 3 years ago, and members are important because of course you give us a great annual subscription to come and enjoy the grounds and the gardens and the exhibitions for free over a year. But it's more important than that, and I think it's become really obvious during this period through the warm wishes and messages we've had from our members that a lot of you appreciate the fact we've extended the membership offer from 12 to 15 months, but it's been more than that. You've been great ambassadors, you've been saying you want to support us anyway, and that you've been really happy, if you're in the position to do so, to renew your membership, and we really do appreciate it because it's the only income left that's coming through our doors whilst we stay closed. We of course also have been thinking about how can we use our assets to thank the NHS staff, care home staff and frontline staff, and really recognise what they're doing in the way the whole country does when it comes together on a Thursday evening to applaud their great work. And we have lit up the arch in blue, which is the main road between Harrogate and Leeds. So of course anyone driving past on their shift hopefully has seen that. But we would like to do more, and we've been thinking about how we could do some kind of weekend free entry offer for all of those that are working so hard at the moment on the front line to keep us safe, to look after us, to to keep us fed and to keep the deliveries and everything going at this time. These are very difficult times, and please be reassured that we're putting a lot of thought and care and attention into thinking about how we can reopen when the government allow us to do so, to make sure we're as safe as possible and we take all the steps necessary to ensure your safety and our team's safety is absolute paramount. It is difficult to plan for a future that is so uncertain, but what we want to do is, when the time is right, to be able to at least open our gardens and our grounds for people to enjoy again at a safe distance, and slowly but surely start to open the house and plan for the future. Harewood House has been around for 250 years. We celebrate the anniversary next year, and that's been there through good times and bad times. And our role is not just to stay engaged with you now, to thank you for your support, but our role is also a key part of our recovery. And when that moment comes, I hope you can find a way of making the most of Harewood to get back out again and to meet people and to be able to start to slowly but surely rebuild our lives after these difficult times. However, that is in the future, and of course we don't know when that future is. So I think my final thought is just to thank you so much on behalf of all the team, the volunteers at Harewood, the trustees and the family of Earl and Countess of Harewood, to say thank you so much for your care, your commitment and your ongoing loyalty. Do take care of yourselves, and we really look forward to welcoming you back when we can.